What's going on, everybody? My name is DJ Wraith, and today we are here with Zack from the Young Calves. Say
How's it
hello.
going, guys?
I'm so excited. I've been a subscriber and watching y'all's content since Mason was doing it by himself, where he was talking about the time he went into GameStop and almost got arrested as a kid. And then I've just fell in love with y'all's content. so, um, So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you.
So, my name is Zack. I run the Young Calves YouTube channel with my partner Tyler, and depending on when this gets uploaded, with also our new partners Nick and Chuck. The game or Nick and Chuck are from the Gaming Twin Show. They've been doing that on Twitch for 5 years weekly, consistently.
Jesus.
At least one upload a week. So they have very similar personalities. They've been guesting on our channel a little bit, but then they're joining us this coming Thursday and officially moving all of their operations to our channel, which will then not just be mine and Tyler. It'll be all four of us this channel. But even before that, me and Tyler took over this channel from Mason of Delfino, and he is one of my best friends. I probably video chat with him like every other day. Uh, but we are a pop culture entertainment channel. So it started out as just a video game channel, but then we've transitioned. Mason was mostly a Nintendo guy. He knew, this wasn't really for him anymore. He was like, all right, Nintendo, like, it's just not a big part of my life. He's like, I haven't touched my Switch in months, and that there's awesome people like you who've been around for so long. He's like, I love my community, though. Just because I don't like making YouTube content doesn't mean I don't care about these dudes anymore. So he reached out to me because I am also very big in Nintendo, uh, video games in general, but specifically Nintendo. I'm actually a Nintendo national champion. And
Oh,
he was like, you know what? They would be in great hands with Zack and Tyler, because we were trying to get some YouTube stuff going. At around the same time, his interest was dwindling down. And ever since then, we've rebranded as the Young Calves, and we have been doing uh, pop culture stuff, so gaming, movies, TV, and it's a mix of streaming, of making videos, and doing news shows. But yeah, I am loving it. I'm having a great time. Uh, I am very obviously recently woken up, but we're in pandemic times, so like it is, this is how it be sometimes.
right. Just rise and grind, man. Just rise and grind. Um, I I will say, how is the podcast going for you? Also, guys, if y'all want to check out his podcast, I will link it in the description. Go check it out. I haven't watched it in a couple of weeks because I've been busy. But the last one I watched when y'all were talking about the Schneider cut.
Nice.
It was the first one. Well, the first one I remember y'all had technical difficulties, and then it was like the next day, and I kind of caught the tail end of it because I was at work. But how is that going for y'all?
So you haven't missed too much. That is actually our. Give me one second. I'm just trying to silence this because I thought it was silenced, and I'm getting a call. There we go. So you haven't missed too much there. That is before we took over this channel from Mason. That is what we were doing on our own. So that's like the type of content that we really. I love making everything that we make. However, with the podcast, me and Tyler, we get along so well, and these are things that we would be discussing anyways. Like, we already discuss this stuff for like 3 hours a week, so we're like, we might as well do it on a podcast and share that with others. Uh, but so we started it. I think we did one, and then Tyler got COVID.
Oh
Uh,
no!
so then that got in the way. We didn't know it was COVID at first, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm not going to make the podcast today," and it's like, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, the next week, and then a few days later, he was like, "Oh no, I definitely have COVID." So then another one didn't happen, then we did one, and Chuck was my guest on it, which was cool. That was his first time on the channel. And then after that one, we found out the next day I started showing symptoms for COVID.
Oh
So
no, are
we
you
went,
okay though?
we did one. We couldn't do more. We had to miss it for like 2 weeks because Tyler had COVID. Did one more. I had COVID, so then we missed another one. Then
No.
Tyler was able to do it with Chuck after that. And then I was gonna do it. I've had some personal stuff that I'm on the back end of it now. So we're good, but it made things get a little shaky for a tiny bit where I was just like, I can't commit to things. Like I'll do it when I can, but I can't say ahead of time, like, yeah, like let's plan it. So then that came up like right before another episode. So then it was like, oh, okay, Zach's out again. So this is too last minute. We gotta miss this week. But then we got 2 in a row off. So I think we've done 4.
Wow.
And then we were gonna do one yesterday because, like I said, I'm on the back end of that personal stuff now. Uh, but Chuck, uh, his wife is pregnant, and before doing this merger, he already had planned an appointment, so he couldn't be there. So then it was just going to be me and Tyler. But then when I tried to run it, my OBS, if you caught my latest Smash stream, OBS was just kind of glitching. So then we weren't able to get it up. So it's like the one show that, like, again, I don't want to be like we enjoy this the most type thing, but it's got the lowest barrier to entry. It's just 2 dudes chatting about stuff that they're knowledgeable about and that they like. Well, 3 because Chuck is supposed to join us full time. But yeah, so with the podcast, man, I'm so looking forward to next week. This one, like, it just does not want to get off the ground, but
I
like I said,
understand.
it's like got the lowest barrier to entry. There's not all this crazy setup time. It's not like, oh, I missed last week's, so I can't tune in since I won't know what they're talking about. We just talk about what's relevant. So there's gonna be a lot of E3 on the podcast in the next month.
So, it's funny you should mention that every your podcast has a low entry level because my co-host Garrett and I have started our podcast, the Frightful Blue podcast, and we've actually only recorded 2 episodes, and then yesterday was our second episode, and by the time when we got done, the Discord was like, "We want more." And so
Nice, dude.
Garrett and I were like, okay, so do you want to do an episode tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, sure. So like today we are, doing another episode, and like I can't believe that like you said, it's just me and Garrett talking about
Exactly.
what we like. Yesterday was games that changed us as kids and stuff like that, and we ended up talking for like 2 hours, and it felt like no time had gone by.
Yeah. When's your next one? I have to tune in.
Tonight, actually, or actually after we get done recording this at 3 o'clock my time, Garrett and I will be recording the next episode, and it'll be up tonight as well.
Dude. Yeah, I'll have to
So,
check that out.
thanks, man. I would really appreciate that. And but going on to another topic, my biggest question for you is: was there ever a time you had mentioned you and Tyler beforehand, before joining the Young Calves and making it your own? Um, was there ever a time that y'all just wanted to like give up on YouTube and took too many breaks and then came back and were like, okay, is this like to try to get back in the swing of things was difficult or?
I don't necessarily think so. Uh, as far as YouTube goes, Tyler is he's in film school. He's actually going to graduate not this semester but next semester.
Oh, okay.
So he's been working on his thesis film, which I've been working on that too because we do stuff together. So I wrote the newest version of the script. I kind of just top down. I took apart what was there. Like we had our story, but I kind of got rid of the old script and then just started over with the same story. And he actually likes that version, so that's what he's given it some minor tweaks, but that's what he's sticking with. So we've always been doing big projects, but they haven't necessarily been on YouTube, if that makes sense. So like
Right.
we never were able to hit that point. I know we did start another channel in the past to do the pop culture cave, and it did pretty well for after 1 month. We were at 128 subscribers, I think,
Wow.
and none of us we didn't have a social media presence or anything like that. Uh, However, what ended up happening there was we had a third partner back, not Chuck or anything like that, uh, and we me and Tyler were on the same page, uh, but this other person was not, and we kind of let it derail things a little bit, and it to the point where it became unenjoyable because they say don't work with your friends. I don't necessarily agree with that because ever since I've worked with Tyler, our relationship has gotten so much better. We have more stuff to talk about. Uh, but with the other person, it did put some stress on our relationship, and that just had to do with like you don't necessarily see things that are if you're just hanging out, you don't necessarily see things that can get in the way of building something. You don't see a red flag or oh, you make a lot of excuses or it's got to be your way or no way type thing. So, uh, I would say just you got to make sure you know the people you're working with. And this other person, I wish them nothing but the best. But it
Hmm.
was just one of these things where it was like me and Tyler had our heads in the analytics and also in what we enjoy doing. And it was like, oh, this is a trending topic, so let's talk about it. But then the other person was like, well, I think we should just focus on this one random interest I have from like 1987. So it was just like we were like, well, we're a pop culture cave, like we do pop culture. But so that just kind of ended up becoming stressful, and that ended up making it have to pause. But I don't regret any of it. We only, like I said, we only did it for like a month and a half before we were like, okay, we need to figure out like a way to restructure things, or we want to be friends, so maybe we shouldn't work together, maybe this, maybe that, like there was nothing but love all around, but it was
Right.
just one of those things where like that was difficult, but it was only 2 months, so we were never able to hit like that burnout point. It was almost like that was our barrier to entry. So me and Tyler went away basically and just started working on other stuff that we weren't necessarily even posting, just working on things. And then that was when Mason what ended up being ready to do the handoff. So it all kind of worked out together.
Yeah.
Uh, I know my biggest thing that I always explain is like I will never experience burnout because you know you get burnout when you're trying to you're you're burning the candle at both ends. You're doing things that you shouldn't necessarily do because they don't bring you joy. But with the channel is us. People ask me, why do you stream Ring Fit? Your Smash streams do so much better. Don't you think you should just stream Smash again in the morning? And I'm like, no, I stream Ring Fit because I play Ring Fit in the morning. So
I missed my
I
Ring
might as
Fit
well get a
session this
stream out of
morning.
it.
Speaking about a Ring Fit, I missed my session this morning because I was too lazy. So, um, I mean, like you said, it is like I had a bunch of people when I first started my channel. I've been on YouTube for about 7 years now. And only have like last time I checked, like 51 subscribers. I'm not here to do it for the views, for the money, for any of
Mhm.
that. I'm here to do it for fun because this is what I love doing. Um,
Exactly.
and I had a bunch of people when Fortnite was like the main thing that everybody was talking about. We're like, you should stop doing Dead by Daylight and Dying Light and the stuff that you enjoy, and I want to see more Fortnite. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I upload a Fortnite video once a week, but I'm not gonna switch over to a Fortnite channel. If you want that,
Exactly.
go see like Ninja or Ali A or any of those people that their main focus is that. my main focus is retro stuff that I like, and just hanging out and having a good time. So, uh, sorry to get off on that weird tangent.
Oh no, I think that's exactly, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's like the channel reflects your interests, and because of that, like the type of burnout you'll experience is going to be different from other people. Like with you, right now you're doing, you said 25 days of
25,
uploads,
yeah, because I
and
just turned 25, so I was like, okay, well, as a big like birthday gift to y'all from me, 25 days of consecutive uploads, and like I'm kind of like I'm really uh excited for the things to come down the pipelines. But I know as soon as those 25 days are over, I'm gonna go back to my weekly schedule because
exactly.
just daily content. Like I love sitting in front of my computer, but that's not what I want to do all day. I have other things that I want to get done.
Yeah.
Just
So like
prime example.
your burnout, if anything, would be, at the end of the 25 days, you might end up being like, hey, give me like a week to get back to my weekly schedule. You might be able to just jump back into it. But for you, you're taking on a higher workload than normal.
Yeah, about three
Where
uploads
like
a day.
at the end of the day, like that won't affect you in such a negative way where you're like, man, after 7 years, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like the most that'll affect you is make you be like, okay, I need to give me a week, give me a week to do like every
Pump the
other day or
brakes.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like that's so important because so many people, like I play the algorithm game too. Like I love like the analytics. If you come to my streams, like you'll hear me like talk about the algorithm. I'm like, hey, can you guys drop a like? Because if we get like the more likes we get while live, which also too, if you haven't liked this video for Wraith,
Oh,
drop a like.
thanks, man.
But the more likes that you get, the more YouTube sees that engagement and is like, okay, we, YouTube, want to make as much money as possible. How do we make money? From people watching the ads. So that means the longer someone is on YouTube, the more money YouTube makes. So YouTube wants to help us, as long as you're profitable for them. So if YouTube sees, oh, a bunch of people are engaging with this content, they're clicking like. If they're clicking like, they're more likely than someone who doesn't even click the like button to click an ad, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like YouTube sees that and it's like, okay. So like I'll talk about that stuff and be like, hey, can you guys like, and then like just explain it for a second, and be like, this gets us more people to play Smash Bros with. And usually like I'll say it like once every 15 minutes or so, and every time I do, I get another like or two. So
I
like
know when
I
I
play the algorithm game too, but at the end of the day, that's just a small part of it. It's I want to be competitive at Smash Bros. And so if I ever get the you know sick of Smash Bros, it's not like, oh well, there goes the channel. The channel's my interests and Tyler's interests and
right.
Nick and Chuck's interests. If I get sick of Smash Bros and I start just I don't know, playing Mario Kart, which I want to start that up soon anyways, but if I start doing Mario Kart instead of Smash Bros, well cool, now I'm just going to post videos about Mario Kart instead of about Smash Bros. Like, and that's the thing, people will force themselves to stay in the box that they were in when they started. But as people, we grow and we change. And so that is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that makes people fall away from these platforms and fall away from YouTube is, they start out as a Smash Bros channel, but now they don't really enjoy Smash that much. It's just their interests have evolved. But here they are forcing themselves 3 hours a day, 3 hours twice a week to play Smash Bros. That's going to burn you out. You're doing something that you're not enjoying,
This
So I know I'm not concerned with ourselves because we cast the wide umbrella of pop culture. So there's always going to be something pop culture that we're interested in.
right.
So I know I can't see burnout happening that way. And like you said, you've been doing this 7 years, and like you're doing the stuff that you enjoy. So I think that is the biggest secret to YouTube. Don't be afraid to change. To, don't be afraid to let your YouTube change to however you're changing as a person.
It's like I for for my audience that doesn't know, I have I guess I can go ahead and talk about it real quick. I have I'm starting a review of sorts of this franchise that I love called Kamen Rider and all the tokusatsu stuff from Japan and stuff like that. And that, like, it's funny you should mention like breaking out of your bubble, because that's what I'm really scared of, is the fact that people aren't gonna like the fact that I'm not uploading games every day now. I have the podcast, I have the games, I have this new thing coming into the pipeline. I have two other projects that I'm really excited that I can't tell anything about it to anybody because they're
Yep, I know that feeling.
I gotta keep them close to my chest, but I'm really excited for everything that's coming down the pipeline. And it's also funny that you should mention Smash, because in the Discord server that I'm in, we actually hold a Smash tournament every once in a while. We'll hold it, but we had the last tournament we had was a couple of months ago, I want to say, and whoever got like the runner up got the role of Smash Bros runner up, and they could immediately challenge the champion, and then the champion has that title for as long as he's undefeated. Once he gets defeated, he has the new champion has 24-hour grace period, and then people can start challenging him again.
That's cool. I like that
So,
format.
like it gives everybody a chance to breathe. So, like I said, it's funny that you should mention changing because I am getting more out of. I mean, there's still going to be the games and stuff that I grew up with and that I love. But like I'm evolving to my interests and stuff like that, and that to me is the biggest hurdle I've got to get over. Because when I first started, I was going to be a predominant vlog channel because back then the vlog channels were blowing up.
The vlogging was the thing to do.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I posted like 4 vlogs and then immediately went over to gaming. I'm like, look, my passion is not here. My interest is here. So, and now my interest has changed to where I'm more wanting to do show reviews and like movie reviews. Like I'm about to do a review of the Schneider Cut. I know it's super late, but my thing is I want to let the hype die down so the hype can go back up. So,
yeah, I got you.
So, is there any point, and was there any point in time for you that the light bulb just clicked, in your head, like, hey, this is what I love doing, and this is what I'm going to continue to do?
Oh, the first time, because again, me and Tyler, we were only able to do it for like 2 months the first time,
Mm-hmm.
And then even I say the first time, but you can actually find like old videos of us reviewing stuff from like 2014. So I say the first time, but that was actually like the third time or the second time, I mean. But at that point, Tyler lived in Chicago at school for film school and whatnot. Tyler, a little bit about his backstory. His stuff, he's been saying since he's 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
going to work on movies. And, everyone was like, oh, you'll grow out of that phase. But he didn't,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a phase. And it's like, he was doing stuff that it takes me a minute to figure out how to do when I edit sometimes. Like he was rotoscoping. For those of you who don't know rotoscoping, so
God,
you
that
have
was
the green screen, which automatically takes the background out. But rotoscoping is where you have to like manually trace things and like circle things frame by frame to like remove it or remove other things. But he was doing that back in like 2006 when he was 12 or whatever or 13, and before they even had like good free access to good software. But he's just been doing nothing but learning ever since then. And since he was 8 all the way to 29, and the first time he went to film school, he ended up taking a break because all of his stuff got stolen, and that was just like a big demoralizing blow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's his story. I can let him share more about that. But so we were trying to do YouTube, like just not on a schedule, just like when we could, you know. because he was in Chicago, then he was back, then he's in Chicago, then he's back. So like it was just like, all right, we'll just do what we can, and that was a ton of fun. And then we did it that last time, and that one was also too for the first little bit, it was good, but then the creative visions of the way things should go, uh, me and like I said, me and Tyler were on the same page, but our other friend wasn't. And when you have a group of three, you need to be on the same page,
Right.
especially if you like. It's just and again, because this is nothing negative about the guy, but it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can technically vote on stuff, but if me and Tyler are always on the same page, like that's going to get old kind of quick of like, oh no, like we're doing what we want. You know what I mean? Like we'll always have the 2 out of 3 vote if
Right.
we're on the same page with things. So like that created that tension that I talked about earlier that kind of made it like it stopped before it could really start.
Right.
And so, you know, what we know is before it got stressful was we enjoyed it a ton. And so we had all these projects that we wanted to do and that we were talking about doing and figuring out like how to do, but we're also both very intentional. So we just kind of were like, okay, we have all these things we want to do, but like, why? If that makes sense, like, why do we want to film this thing if we're not going to put it anywhere? Why do we want to do this if it's just for us, And so at that point, it kind of clicked, that okay, we need to do this on YouTube again. And then we were able to start up on Mason's channel, so that was awesome. So we took over at the very end of November. I think it was November 30th, 2019. However, COVID then happened directly after, because what we didn't say this on the channel, but we were calling it a soft rebrand, or a soft launch. Sorry, not a soft rebrand. Is way more than a soft rebrand. We were calling what we were doing a soft launch. We were just trying to do a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different uploads, and see what stuck. And so then we could be like, okay, this is the direction we want to go. But then COVID happened, so we were staying away from each other. He didn't have a good internet connection where he was at. My internet, up until June, a few months into COVID, my internet was awful as well, where like I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't video chat without it crashing or being all, like,
Yeah.
So like I really think that we started in January this year. January 4th was when I started streaming Smash and stuff again. Because COVID at that point, it had settled down a little bit where like we were being responsible. So like my life involved staying here, and Tyler's life involved staying at his place, and then seeing each other to watch movies or to talk about things or to
Right.
do YouTube stuff. So it's like, okay, like I'm comfortable with that. Like we're both being responsible, we're both socially distancing. So it ended up just being one of those things where it was just like we really started January 4th. And for a while, every single upload, we lost subscribers. Every single live stream, we lost subscribers. But it's like, okay, these are probably just people who are like, who the heck are you? Who didn't see Mason's announcement or whatever, So it was just kind of one of those things where like it clicked like right before we started. There wasn't like this big light bulb moment. It was just like, all right, like let's do this, like for real.
Right.
And it's been a blast. It has been. We have a lot of well-meaning people in the beginning who are like, why are you focusing on this? This is what's successful, or people giving their 2 cents trying to help.
Right.
And I appreciate all of that, but what people don't realize is whatever thought that you had that you're trying to discuss with us, we've had and discussed in detail already.
Right.
And yeah, because a lot of people are like, well, the gaming stuff is what's successful. Your Smash streams are what's doing great, so maybe you shouldn't be pop culture and you should just be gaming. And
But
it's
that's
like,
not
well,
true to
one,
me.
yeah, and it's like, and I can't make that decision because it's me and Tyler's not a big gamer. He's slowly getting more into game stuff, but he is all in on the movie side. So first of all, I can't even decide that because we're partners. We run this together. But two, it's like, you know, because there was a time where I would do stuff for Smash and I started actually netting positive subscribers. But then Tyler would do something for like a movie show and the number would still go down a little bit. And people were like, "Yeah, see, you just got to just focus on the games." And it's like no, like the big picture is anybody who's leaving isn't our audience, so we don't need to stress about it,
Exactly.
you know. And what people don't realize is, you know, Tyler's content does better, like just as far as like for him to go when there's people chatting, when there's people asking him questions for him to be able to address. You know, it's easier to talk to other people than to just talk to yourself. And what people don't realize is movie channels grow so slowly where there's people who were coming to Smash originally because they saw Smash and were like, cool, let's play. And then they got to know me. So now these people start coming to stuff that I'm in. Well, me and Tyler launched that podcast, even though we only were able to get a few episodes. So now, and we did our MCU reviews as well before we both got COVID. Uh, so now these people are starting to come to some stuff because they know me. So kind of like how these people got to know me through Smash. Well, now people are starting to get to know Tyler through me. Someone sees I'm on a podcast, they see I'm on a Marvel review show, but they're going to come click it because they're like, oh, Zack's there. What's up? I'm going to say hi. But now after 3 or 4 times coming to say hi to me and listening, it's like they got to know Tyler. So once we started doing more stuff on camera together, then people started coming who originally came for Smash. You know, it was almost like this trickle, this flow started coming to his content. And that's the vision that people don't see. It's like Smash might be able to grow things faster, and it might be growing faster right now. But normally a movie review channel is going to grow slow. But now we're able to do these movie reviews. Tyler's able to do his stuff. And instead of slowly growing from the one person who's interested in the topic while he's live clicking it, and that the one person who's going to be a long-term fan, I mean, you know, because there's a lot of competition on YouTube. It's like we're popping the Flintstone vitamins, you know.
Dad, that is such a pop culture reference, though. Like for way, like you just took me in the Wayback Machine. All right, like I don't like that, but
Yeah, I'm not talking about the gummies either.
I know the hard, chalky ones that were just gross.
Oh man, no, I love those. I
I
love them
hated
so
it. I
much.
hated them, but like
It's completely anecdotal. But one of my best friends, his niece or his little cousin, uh, she was growing so fast. Like she was like taller than like some of the kids who were like 3 years
need to
old.
get rid of
Like
them
at 5,
Flintstone
she's like
vitamins.
taller than some of the 8-year-olds. And he's like, dude, it's the Flintstone gummies. She just take her Flintstone vitamins. She would just take handfuls of them. Like they'd have to hide them from her. Like she would just.
Oh man, those things were such gimmick.
Oh, man, I
But
loved those.
I know you said you only had a little bit to talk, and I do appreciate you coming on today. Everybody, please do me a favor and go check out the Young Calves on YouTube. Leave them a like on any of their videos that you find interesting. Please, if you like them, please do subscribe. Hit that bell to get notified of all their uploads. Zack, it has been wonderful talking to you, man. And I can't wait to do it
Likewise,
again.
man. You know, I have to come back sometime.
Heck yeah,
so
man.
You're doing 25 days of video, so I think
Well,
I'll probably be able to find a chance sooner than later.
Well, I mean, if you want to come out on the podcast, you and Tyler as a guest, or you or Tyler or whatnot, let me know, and we'll talk it over with Garrett and everything, and we'll go from there, man.
Awesome, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
find me at the Young Calves YouTube channel.
Mhm.
A along with Tyler. And like I said, we have 2 new friends, Nick and Chuck. They're new friends for the channel. I've known them for a long time. But we have Nick and Chuck joining us as well this coming Thursday. So, we're back on the track to 13 to 17 live streams / uploads a week. So we have plenty of content coming your guys' way if you do want to join us. Again, Ray, thank you so much for having me, dude.
Thanks, man.
I know as soon as you popped up in I think
it was
the first video I saw you pop up on was one of Tyler's, right?
No, was one of yours. It was the Smash Bros.
Smash?
Because I had like an hour to play because I was supposed to go to bed and like be at work. And I got wrecked. Yeah. And then I got wrecked. And then I was like, all right, time to go to bed. And then I showed up on y'all's next and kept super chatting. And, I just, honestly, one of the reasons why I like y'all so much is just because it feels like I'm chatting with my best friend, not I'm talking to some big YouTuber or anything like that. Whenever y'all are talking and, y'all are live streaming and doing the podcast and stuff like that, it's like y'all are talking directly to me, like I'm in the room having a conversation with y'all, and that's what I love about y'all's content, to be honest.
Awesome. That's like our goal, but also to for your audience, because they might not know this. This is our first time talking like outside of YouTube comments, some Discord messages. So I definitely see what you're saying, because it's just clicking like that, and that's what's so nice, is I always say like Smash is the wrapping paper, like I'm the content underneath Smash,
Yeah.
And then it's kind of cool because like for Tyler, like I got to be the wrapping paper. There was people who started coming to some of his stuff just because they knew me and I did some stuff with him, and it's like, and he was the content, and then also they started coming to this and started coming to, but like that's what I love is, and that's why I think you're doing this completely right, because it's all about doing what you love and sharing that with other people who love it, and you came into that Smash video, and then I remember now the next day you were in one of Tyler's videos, and I was in the chat, but I wasn't on that video, and we're just like, oh, this dude's cool, and here we are like talking, a bit later, and it's just like, if your audience didn't know, I'm gonna assume that they just probably thought we were friends already.
Yeah.
Like in real.
Yeah. No, we're not.
But yeah, man. So I'm excited to see some more. Sorry, I started.
Blooper.
I don't even have a stutter, and I was stuttering.
Blooper. Take one. Action.
I'm excited to watch more of your content. I didn't know you were doing this 25-day thing.
Yeah, but, I just actually started it a couple days ago. Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you so much for being, just a gracious person. And like I said, please, everybody on my channel, please go check them out. I know my audience will love what you do, and what Tyler does, especially because I have a bunch of nerds. Yes, I'm calling y'all out. We're all nerds here, but I have a bunch of people that love just listening to people talk about different things, or like you said, with the Smash live streams and stuff like that, or whenever you do get the Mario Kart live streams live or whatnot. Well, I have plenty of people that would be interested in that as well. So, but I do thank you for your time. I know you got some stuff going on today, so thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a great time. I'm super excited to do this again.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up real quick. If you liked it, crumple that like button up like it was a piece of paper, aim it, throw it, hope it lands on my subscribe button, and I'll see all y'all dudes in the next video. Peace!